everyone, and welcome to another episode of Call It Into Ring. And tonight we're talking about the Royal Rumble. And you are listening to this episode on a Tuesday because we decided to release this episode a full, 3-4 days before the usual release date because we have a lot to talk about with this 2019 reaction episode. Ed, how are you doing tonight, buddy?
I'm good, man. But today's kind of a big day for you. It's your isn't it your 10-year anniversary today?
It is our 10-year anniversary. It is my wife's and I 10-year anniversary of knowing each other, of dating.
Yeah.
We've been
Congratulations.
married for 6 years. 6 years. We've been married for 6 years, but yes, 10 years. I can't believe it because this year is special, and I guess we will go ahead and just announce it here for Calling in the Ring. But not only is it my 10-year anniversary with my wife, but it's also my 10-year anniversary of podcasting, and mine and yours.
Yes, it is.
So this was not planned here, fans, but we are going to be releasing in the month of February a bunch of little episodes that have nothing to do with anything, just a bunch of old podcast hosts who got together over the past 10 years and talked about everything for podcasting. So we're excited about that. So
it's pretty awesome, man.
10 years of podcasting, 10 years with the same woman, and 10 years of me and you knowing each other.
I feel much less fortunate for having ever met you.
Oh, fuck you. We have good shows.
We do. This is the most, this thing we've been doing now for the last 10 years. We've been doing things on and off. Calling in the Ring and Movie Guys podcast is the most successful thing we've ever done. And, thanks to everybody who listens to us. And but most importantly, seriously, congratulations on your 10 years of knowing your wife, 6 years of marriage. So that's it's kind of a big deal.
I know, right? I mean, it sounds cliche that we get into the show. Every time she goes to see her sister in Chicago, I can't go because I work weekends,
Mm-hmm.
And I'm excited because I'm just like, oh, yes, I get to do whatever I want. I'm going to sleep in the middle of the bed. I'm excited as shit. It's my bed, right? I'm excited.
Sure.
But then the first 30 minutes, I'm like, well, I'm bored. Where's my wife?
You miss your wife.
Well, I am a firm believer that if you can't fuck with your spouse, then what's the point?
Exactly.
I love practical jokes on Gina a lot. I just like to fuck with her, and it's fun. And that makes me sound terrible, but she is a fun person to be around. So yeah, congratulations to us, I would say, for our 10 years, and being you for our 10 years of knowing each other and 10 years of podcasting. So let's get into Royal Rumble 2019. This is a first for Calling in the Ring. We are talking about a modern day wrestling event.
Mm-hmm.
Ed, I don't know why we decided to do this. I guess maybe the stars were aligned because we planned this like a month in advance. And I think the stars were telling us that this was going to be probably one of the greatest WWE pay-per-views of all time, maybe.
Well, there was a little secret that there was a big reason why I pushed this, and it didn't happen. And I'm extremely disappointed that it didn't happen, but I guess I kind of halfway expected it not to. Because dirt sheets, rumor mills, whatever you want to call them, my man, one of the top 5 greatest wrestlers in the world, supposedly is coming to WWE, and I thought it was going to be for the Royal Rumble. My man, Kenny Omega. And unfortunately, he didn't show up, so I was a little disappointed, but it was still a great pay-per-view. It worked out in our favor. It really did. I mean, this from top to bottom, this was probably top 10 at least, if not top 5 Royal Rumble total pay-per-views of all time, including the Battle Royal, the Royal Rumbles themselves, men's and women's. But yeah, I mean, it worked out in our favor. It's kind of why I wanted to do it. Didn't eventually show up because I was trying to trap you into a Kenny Omega conversation without you knowing it.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about that. But
I know you don't. But I was trying to, thinking that it was going to happen, and it didn't happen.
Yeah, I mean, like Ed, you definitely said this is one of the one of the best Royal Rumbles pay-per-views and matches we've had in a long time. And I will also argue that this is probably, since I started my wrestling career again in 2016, for the past 2 years, besides the WrestleManias, let's just get those out of the way. This is probably maybe one of the top pay-per-views I've seen since 2016. This is a great pay-per-view. So fans, if you are coming into Royal Rumble 2019 expecting part 2 of an Ed and Jordan beheading fight, I don't think you're going to get that this episode. I think you're going to get a very, very interesting episode.
You may. I have some interesting things that I know you're going to really hate, but we'll get there. We'll get there.
We'll get there. But before we talk about the pay-per-view, the matches and everything, I want to talk about something I was really impressed with. So, first of all, they booked this thing at Chase Field where the Arizona Diamondbacks play. Now,
yes.
Ed, you lived in Arizona for a little bit, and you were there when they were building Chase Field. But when I heard that this was going to be at Chase Field, I know that stadium because I am a baseball fan, and I know it has like a glass roof in a way. It's kind of indoors, outdoors. It depends on the weather. And I was really excited to see the Royal Rumble in a fucking stadium, like a WrestleMania. This was like a mini WrestleMania, don't you think?
I agree. And the thing was, I got my timeline wrong. I was there when it was already built. I got my timeline wrong. That's my mistake. I prepped you incorrectly. I don't know what I was thinking about when I was saying they must have been building something else. Because after our conversation, I did a little bit more research, and the thing opened 20 years ago, and I was way off. So
wow,
I make that.
Old, huh?
I made that mistake. Maybe I don't know what else they were building at the time. I mixed up, but yeah, I mean, I don't remember something like this ever being in an event like this because, I always think of the Royal Rumble at like the iconic Madison Square Garden. I get why they can't do that anymore because you need the big stage for the entrances, like the long run up and stuff like that. But I always think of especially like the moment when John Cena returned at the Royal Rumble, like when the doors opened up there and whatnot. But yeah, I mean, I was thoroughly impressed, and I'm glad, extremely happy that they were able to fit damn near 50,000 people in there.
Yeah,
it was incredible. It was awesome. It made it fun to watch because the fans were into it.
Now, let's talk about that because I was going to bring that up, but thank you for beating me to the punch. I did not get an opportunity to watch the pre-show, but I turned it on at 7:00. Now, for the fans that are listening to this right now, we're behind the scenes here. We are recording this on a Monday night during Raw right now. I actually have Raw in the background muted. But I turned on at 7:00 last night on Sunday, and as soon as I turned it on, I looked at my wife and I said, "Gina, this is a party." I mean, like I had this aura or whatever you want to call it, right? Like I had this wave come over me of, "Oh, this is like a WrestleMania." Like you could tell when a crowd is into something, and this crowd was just into it. Everything, hook, line, and sinker, and it made me get excited. I loved the ring. I loved the setup that they had with the ring. I also found it interesting too. I was disappointed for a few seconds, but then I realized why they did it. The entrance didn't have the big Titantron. It didn't have the big pizzazz like a WrestleMania, but I realized that this is a baseball stadium.
Yeah.
And they needed people to see because they had people right behind the entrance because clearly the wrestlers were coming out from the dugout.
I would imagine so. Either that or they were coming out from the outfield. Like there's ways to get in and around stadiums from the outfield and whatnot. I don't know. I would think. I don't know. I don't know how the thing was set up. It just looked like it was coming from the outfield.
Yeah.
But it could have been a dugout. I don't know. But either way, it worked really well.
There was no pizzazz. There was no Titantron. But they did do a lot of digital effects with all the
Well, they had the big thing up in the center. They erected that big giant stage looking thing in where the ring was centered.
Oh yeah,
and
of course
they did have some stuff above that.
They did, but I'm talking about, how
Yeah, I know. Yeah, the big
had the
Titantron
mask,
at the top of the stage and whatnot. Yeah.
yeah. So I was like, oh, but I was like, oh, I get it now. So I was excited. And this pay-per-view I was excited for because the card was so interesting to me. I was invested in pretty much 95% of the matches that were going to be taking place. So let's talk about the first match. The first match of the night on the main card was Asuka against Becky Lynch for the WWE SmackDown Women's Championship. This match lasted for 17 minutes and 10 seconds. Asuka came in as the champion, and she ended up defeating Becky Lynch by submission. Ed, how say you? What do you feel about this match with Asuka versus Becky?
Well, I've said this to you in private, and I'm going to say this now to all of our fans of Call It in the Ring. The whole Call It in the Ring verse. Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair, but specifically Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair are the two best professional wrestlers in the world. They beat everybody. I don't mean gender aside, age aside. Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair, but Becky Lynch is number one wrestler in the entire world. Seriously. Number three is AJ Styles. Number 4 is Kenny Omega. Number 5 is Cody Rhodes. Okay? Becky Lynch is number one best, hands down, professional wrestler in the world.
What makes Becky so fucking good in your opinion?
Her ability to sell everything that she's doing and make you believe it. Her abilities to take fantastic bumps. Her on the mic skills. Okay? Her in-ring performances get me excited. Her character, like she's the man. She is the man. And the fact that she embodies, there's no kayfabe. She doesn't break kayfabe ever. You get on everybody's Twitter, everybody's Instagram, even Charlotte Flair, right? I remember New Year's on her social media. I remember on Charlotte Flair's social media, I watched a video of her and Nia Jax and oh God, I forget who all else was there. Alexa Bliss. They're all getting drunk and dancing and partying, which is fine. I mean, I'm friends with the people I work with too, but they put that on social media, which is okay. There's nothing wrong with that, but there's everybody breaks kayfabe in professional wrestling today, except for Becky Lynch. You get on her social media, and it's all about how she wants to beat the piss out of Charlotte Flair or Asuka or whomever. And I'm really glad that Asuka stepped her game up in the last couple of months because I thought that this was going to be the Becky Lynch show. I thought Becky Lynch was just going to eat her alive. I did predict.
Save it.
Okay. But I think Becky Lynch is the best professional wrestler in the world. I'm giving this the maximum fucking rating you can give for a match, hands down. This thing opened it up, and that's a 5-star match.
Yeah, no, it was a 5-star match. I actually want to talk about Asuka here for a little bit since you talked about Becky. Asuka, I have a love-hate with Asuka, Ed. And it's like, when I first got back into WWE in 2016, there was no Asuka. I didn't know much about NXT.
Mm-hmm.
But, she was a part of it, but I didn't know much about it. I was trying to get into it. And then in 2017, boom, here comes Asuka. And she is the Empress of Tomorrow, and she's never been defeated. And she's like the female Goldberg.
Sure.
That really struck a chord with me because I remember going back to our Goldberg episode, how excited I was as a kid, to see Goldberg be this undefeated beast of a person. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And now we got Asuka, who is clearly not the same build as Goldberg, but she's just she finds a way to win, and she finds a way to win clean every time. Look, Asuka wasn't winning by hitting chair shots when a ref is down. You know what I mean?
Right.
Do I think that her movesets are great? No, not really. I'm actually not impressed with Asuka's movesets. Like her running and throwing her ass into you. It's nothing that the Asuka lock. It's like, it's weird. To me,
They've begun calling it a what is it? A hip bump?
hip bump, but it's
Yeah, she's throwing her butt right in your face. Yeah, I get
yeah,
that.
her butt's. I mean, it reminds me of Xbox's Bronco Buster from the '90s,
But the other side.
but the other side, the
Yeah,
stinky side.
yeah.
Well, X-Pac could be a stinky side in the
You never maybe nowadays he's got a little might have a little bit of some gangrenous
There you go.
things falling out of there. Yes.
X-Pac, we don't hate you. So, but the match was fun. It got me into it because I always am excited when I get into a pay-per-view that I'm really excited about because I want to know what match is first. Because
Sure.
you don't know. I mean, like maybe other people out there can tell us other ways of actually finding out what the order of the match card is. But according to Wikipedia, where I get the match card from, it's all jumbled out of order. So I don't know what's going on because according to Wikipedia, the women's rumble was first. You know what I mean?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know where they're getting their stuff. I mean,
Pulling it out of their ass is where they're getting it from.
yeah, people just build that. People just build Wikipedia pages, and then other people edit it. It's just easier to keep what was there.
Yeah. So Asuka Becky Lynch started it off. I loved that. I thought it was a good match. I really enjoyed it. I'm gonna give it my first 5-star rating, just like Ed here for Call It in the Ring, because I don't think we've ever given a match a 5-star rating yet.
I don't know that I ever have either.
Which is sad because I just want to go back to our Armageddon pay-per-view real quick.
Mhm.
This is
Sure, go ahead.
Asuka versus Becky Lynch. Two great female wrestlers, right? At the height of their career, the height of their prime, right?
Yep.
You're going to tell me, just listen to this. Just forget about that we watched and reviewed Armageddon, okay?
Mhm.
You're going to tell me that Asuka and Becky Lynch was a better match than Triple H, Kurt Angle, Stone Cold, Undertaker, Rikishi, and The Rock in a Hell in a Cell match for the title. Now, you just listen to that statement real quick. You're just thinking that Armageddon match, 6-man Hell in a Cell for the title, should be like the greatest match ever. Should completely just blow anything that Mick Foley ever did with the Hell in a Cell. Those were the 6 top guys. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
And it's like, no, we didn't give that one a 5-star. I think we gave that one a 1 or a 2-star rating. So it's just fascinating to me to go back and listen to that episode and see that this match, the opening match of Royal Rumble, is a million times better.
Mm-hmm.
Breaks my heart.
And keep in mind, you haven't, and I cannot wait for Kenny Omega to finally make his WWE debut because you will be seeing more 5-star matches. Okay. But for me, I think from this point forward, a Becky Lynch match to me will start out at 5 stars and it will deduct from there. Seriously. Just like a match with Brock Lesnar is an automatic 1-star, and then the other person can carry it and add certain things, which we'll get into later with the Universal title match. But I think from this moment forward, Becky Lynch is so good, you have to just assume the match is going to be 5 stars.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. Becky Lynch is awesome. I've always liked her. I liked her when I first got back into wrestling, and she was the Irish lass kicker.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I missed the goggles, but I'm excited.
The steampunk phase.
Yeah, definitely the steampunk. But to say one more thing about Becky, we'll on to the second match. Is I'm really excited to see her now because my wife is really excited to see her now because if you remember, fans, Fear of the Call in the Ring, this guy with 2 thumbs here, Jordan, got front row tickets to SmackDown at the Huntington Center in Toledo, Ohio on February 12th, baby.
Yeah,
I'll make sure to be streaming if I can or take pictures if I can at the event. So my wife's like, hey, is Becky still going to be a part of SmackDown because the Superstar Shakeup and stuff? I said, oh, yeah. She's like, that's like, Becky Lynch is like big. I was like, I know. So I'm like really excited now for SmackDown to see Becky fucking.
You should always be excited for SmackDown.
I mean, I was excited last time I was in SmackDown in Toledo, Ohio was when it was the 6-man gauntlet match, and Rusev won that match. That was in June of 2018.
Wow.
So The next match, second match of the card, was a match that my wife was not invested into. I don't know the storyline much. I know a little bit of it, but it was The Miz and Shane McMahon, and they went up against The Bar, who is Cesaro and Sheamus, who were the SmackDown Tag Champions at the time. And The Miz and Shane McMahon defeated The Bar to become the new SmackDown Tag Team Champions. That match lasted for 13 minutes and 20 seconds. Man, The Miz has a McMahon boner going on, doesn't he?
Sure he does. I mean, Shane McMahon, look, Shane McMahon can out-wrestle even today, but he can legitimately out-wrestle half the guys on the roster. The dude, like, it's sort of cliche at this point, but when he gets up there getting ready to do something high-flying and he genuflects and he gives himself the sign of the cross, and then he just makes this crazy-ass jump, I love watching a Shane McMahon match because there's something exciting is going to happen. I loved, watching Shawn Michaels for a lot of the same reasons. I loved watching. I'm not comparing the two. I'm just saying that there were something exciting.
Flying, something's going to happen.
Yeah, well, it doesn't have to have anything to do with necessarily high flying. It's something exciting is going to happen when Shane McMahon steps in the ring. And I can't believe I'm saying this. I can't believe I'm saying this. But the dude who basically is about to inherit the fucking kingdom has no problems laying it out there. Like, he wants to give the fans a great show. The Miz is a fantastic in-ring performer. He's one of the top guys that they have. They don't push him properly, I don't think. I wish they would give him a Universal title run, if not, at least a shot. Maybe not at Brock Lesnar, but because
he can't. He's on SmackDown, so
no. But here's the thing: I need all these real guys to move over to Raw because that's where the fucking talent is. Legitimately, SmackDown is the B team. But with that being said, the Sheamus and Cesaro are both also great in-ring performers. There's not a bad in-ring performer in this entire card, with the exception of Brock Lesnar, and Daniel Bryan's extremely overrated as well. But I'm going to give this match for what it was. I'm going to give this match a 2.5-star rating. Wasn't great, but it wasn't bad either. I enjoyed it. I found myself checking my phone during the match.
Nice.
And to me, it wasn't that it was boring, but I just, I don't know how else to say it. I mean, the fact that I checked my phone during a title, a tag team championship match with Shane McMahon says something for those who don't know me. So 2.5 stars.
Who is the current Raw tag team titles, guys?
I don't fucking know. They're like the Ascension or something. I don't know.
No, I don't know who those guys are. I'm going to find out live on air right now because I am fucking curious.
And you know what? This is embarrassing to admit, but with the exception of pay-per-views, I'm probably going to have to get back in it because
Bobby Roode and Chad Gable, they're current.
There we go. There we go. With the exception of the pay-per-views, I don't watch a whole lot of modern-day WWE because most of it sucks. A lot of it sucks. I'm going to disagree, but this pay-per-view gave me a little bit of hope. And yeah, we're recording during Raw, so that is what that is. But we have some personal things that we need to take care of later in the week. So that's why we're doing it today. But I find myself making time to watch the pay-per-views, but because of what I had been given the last 4 or 5 years, I didn't care. I don't care about what happens on Raw or SmackDown.
Well, okay, so before I'm going to go on a rant about Raw here, let me talk about Shane real quick, because I'm sure that we will eventually sometime here with Calling of the Ring, we will have a Shane McMahon episode, because there's tons of matches that were iconic that he was part of that we will, I'm sure, get into. I've never thought about doing a Shane McMahon episode, but that sounds like a good idea. One of the things about Shane McMahon that impresses me that you said about him doing the high flying and the coast to coast jump is that he's doing exactly what his father said to do. There's a famous bump that Vince McMahon did against Stone Cold Steve Austin in a cage match at St. Valentine's Day Massacre, where the Big Show finally showed up for the first time.
Yep.
That's where Stone Cold and Vince McMahon were on the side of the cage, and he Stone Cold hits McMahon, and he flies off the cage, and he hits a announcement table.
Yeah.
He almost broke his back in real life with that because he didn't know how to take the bump.
Mm-hmm.
And Vince McMahon has been famously said that I will never ask my superstars to do something that I will not be willing to do.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's true for Shane. I think Shane took that, and I think Shane still deep down is a part of the Extreme era of wrestling, like the Hardys, the Dudleys. You know what I mean? To where he will go above and beyond and do these things because he first introduced the Coast to Coast at WrestleMania 17 when he was in a street fight against his father.
Well, and you got to remember, Shane McMahon also spent years in Japan, and that's what they do in Japan. So
now the Miz, I always find fun for me. So in the late 90s and early 2000s, you could not pull me away from MTV. MTV was my bread and butter. You had TRL when you came home from school. Just great shows, spanking new Music Week, Cribs, all that shit. But they had a show that I just really loved. They had The Real World.
Oh, is that what you like, The Miz?
and then in the year 2000, it was their 10th year anniversary of The Real World, and they went back to New York. That was the thing. The Real World, back to New York. And they had a guy in there, Mike, Miz. And he said, if I became a wrestler, I'll be the Miz. And the whole season of that show, he always had a WWF Championship belt. He was acting like this over-the-top Miz, not the character that he is now, but a very stereotypical wrestler. I was like, this guy's never going to make it. This guy's a piece of shit. You know what I mean? Like I was never. And after the Real World Road Rules ended for like 10 more years, they did the challenge. And he was, remember that? Remember the Real World Road Rules challenge?
Yes, I do actually.
Okay. He was always a part of that every season, and he always fucking dominated. He always fucking won. I was like, this guy's not going to do it. He was still talking about The Miz. So to come back in 2016, fucking 16 years later, and see The Miz being this fucking star, I'm blown away. I'm just like, what the fuck? Do I like the fact that The Miz and Shane McMahon are now champions? No, because I know what's going to happen eventually. They're going to have a falling out and probably go head-to-head against each other at WrestleMania or probably after WrestleMania. That's just me and the storylines of wrestling that I think it's going to happen because eventually the tag team's going to have to split up. I mean, hell, the New Age Outlaws split up, for God's sakes, which is arguably the greatest tag team of all time.
Okay. Do you want me to fight you, or do you just want to?
No, I'm not asking you to fight me. I just made a statement that I would say that the New Age Outlaws are probably one of the best tag teams of all time.
I mean,
okay.
All right. Yeah, you're. One of. Okay. I mean, if you're talking top 10, sure. Yeah.
I mean, that could be one of 100. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sure.
I'm just saying it's like, so the New Age Outlaws, which were part of DX, eventually broke up. This team of Shane and Miz will eventually break up. So that will be an interesting storyline as it goes. I agree with you that this match is definitely a 2.5 star. Cesaro, I'm just going to give you one bit of advice, pal. Just one bit of advice. It's been over a year and a half since you busted your shoulder. Your shoulder's fine. Take off the tape.
Well, a lot of athletes do that to keep themselves together.
Yeah, but a year and a half.
I'm just saying it's part of the look now.
Yeah, I guess. But I don't have much to say about Sheamus and Cesaro. Sheamus tried to have a push there 10 years ago, and the push didn't last too long because he decided to be, what was it, Rocksteady or Bebop in Turtles 2, which we reviewed.
Bebop and Rocksteady. Wow.
Remember that?
I do.
So God bless him. The next match, the third match in the card, was Ronda Rousey She went up against Sasha Banks for the WWE Raw Women's Championship. Ronda comes in as the champion and defeats Sasha Banks with 13 minutes and 55 seconds. I was not into this match when I heard about it on the match card.
Sure.
I was like, Ronda Rousey, Sasha Banks. So let me just go right off the bat about what I feel about Ronda Rousey.
Okay.
Ronda Rousey, I know from UFC. And I know she ended UFC with getting her ass fucking pummeled. But from what I could see, from what I could see in UFC, though, she was pretty much a bad woman. I mean, she was a badass woman.
Yeah, she was.
I mean, she kicked my ass.
I'd love her to kick my ass.
Right? Just fuck me later.
Yeah, please.
I mean, I won't be able to do anything, so you got to be on top.
I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed she's married now because the night before a fight, wherever she was, she'd get on Tinder and find a dude and bone him because she needed to get her she needed her adrenaline rush.
That's
so she would just find some random dude on Tinder and bone him. No, she said it. She has said as much.
Oh, really? She actually said that the night before a fight, she would find a guy and fuck him.
Yeah, she needed to get her adrenaline going.
All right, then. Well, wait a minute. That doesn't make any sense. Because if she would fuck and fucking have an orgasm, that she would be relaxed and calm, and she would not have any anyway.
Anyway.
So, when she's in the WWE, I see her as a badass chick, right?
Sure.
She's a real fighter.
Yeah.
Sasha Banks, Becky Lynch, I mean, all the women, when it comes to a fist fight, cannot hold a candle to Ronda Rousey, to a real fist fight.
I would agree with that. To a legitimate fist fight.
Maybe Nia Jax because she's a fucking brick house.
Even still. You
know what I mean? It's like so it's like it's the Royal Rumble. This is the first big show of the year, and she's going to defend her title against Sasha Banks. Oh, this is a squash. This is gonna be a 5-minute match. You know, she's going to do the fucking armbar and done.
Right.
No, this turned out to be a almost 14-minute match. And these two put on a pretty good show. I mean, I was not totally fucking invested, but I was intrigued enough to keep watching. I thought these two did a fucking good match. I was surprised.
Yeah, I 100% agree. I was with much like the Lesnar-Balor match, I was so pleasantly surprised at the performance of both wrestlers in this match. I don't see Ronda Rousey as a very good professional wrestler. Again, not that she can't kick my ass in a fight, and she's working on it. You can see, when she debuted a year and a half ago, you can see the difference from then until now. It's light years ahead of where it was as somebody who's been watching wrestling for a long time.
I'm going to interrupt you for 1 second. So, during the pay-per-views, it's a pay-per-view, so they have mics around the ring so you can hear the wrestlers talk shit,
Uh-huh.
And last night during the pay-per-view, she said that comment. I'll shut up so you can finish your point. She goes, "You don't think I can wrestle? Watch this." And she starts doing these wrestling moves on Sasha. I'm like, oh, fuck.
Yeah, like she's come a long way. Like legitimately has come a long way. And I'm pleasantly surprised at how good she is. I don't honestly know the people who've really trained her. I mean, I know that that they say it's Natalya. I know that they've said that, but I don't know.
Yeah, no, it's 3 big ones. It's Natalya, Kurt Angle, and then the last one is completely out of the blue. You want to know what that is?
Who?
Goldust.
Well, you know what? And I've said this before on Call to the Ring, and I mean it. Goldust is one of the best in-ring performers in the history of professional wrestling.
Well, he trained
that dude fucking knows.
Rousey.
That dude fucking knows.
He fucking trained her.
I'm going to take you at your word because I just don't know. I believe it, but I have no.
I looked it up last night during the match. I was like, who the fuck trained her? Because I thought the same thing you did.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, okay, who the fuck trained her? And it was Natalya, Kurt Angle, and Goldust. Goldust trained her at the Performance Center with Kurt Angle. Natalya worked with her at the fucking Heart Dungeon, or whatever you want to call it.
Right. Like, like for example, just for shits and giggles, like the people who trained Shane McMahon, some of the best ever. Al Snow, Sergeant Slaughter, and Tom Pritchard. As we know, Tom Pritchard, he's a fantastic wrestler, or excuse me, a fantastic wrestling trainer. And you've got you've got guys for people that have trained like Becky Lynch. The person who trained Becky Lynch is Finn Balor. Okay, so like you don't think about who really trained these people.
Sure.
But like Finn Balor trained Becky Lynch, and Sergeant Slaughter and Al Snow trained Shane McMahon.
Man.
So when you hear like the on-screen story of like Natalya training, like, okay, I believe part of that, but there's somebody else that was really there, and I didn't know, so I'll take you at your word for it.
I mean, like, what I would say is probably what happened was Ronda went to the Performance Center as soon as she signed and worked with Goldust and Kurt Angle for a while.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? To get the basics, to get the fundamentals, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
If I would have to take a guess. And then after she, quote unquote, graduated from that, then they took her to Natalya to give her some of the other stuff that she could use. You know what I mean? Like
the actual in-ring stuff that you're going to need.
Yeah, probably. I mean, like,
Mm-hmm.
But I would say that Angle and Goldust, knowing those two wrestlers, gave her the fundamentals. This is how you take a bump. This is how you do a fake hit, because we know you know how to hit. So you can't really do that.
Don't punch anybody. Please don't punch anybody. Yeah.
You'll fucking kill them. One of the things that I found very interesting was it actually made my stomach turn. She was wrestling against Sasha Banks last night for the WWE Raw Women's title, and Ronda Rousey kept on Sasha Banks kept on putting Ronda Rousey in kind of like this armbar in a way, which she would be behind her back and pull her arm up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You could see the top part of fucking Ronda Rousey's shoulder popping out, like her bone.
Well, she's got to be double jointed or something, because there's no way that wouldn't have tore something apart.
That's what I'm saying. I was like, because I was watching this, and I'm just like, oh, and my wife's like, what? And I'm like, that doesn't look good.
Yeah.
That does not. I mean, I know it's like, fake or entertainment or whatever, but that does not look good.
One of two things has to have happened here. Number one, Ronda Rousey's double jointed, and they took full advantage of that. The two of them in the ring, they took full advantage of that. Or Sasha Banks, like Ronda Rousey must have punched Sasha Banks. And those two people in the ring, not them specifically, but there are guys that are notorious for doing shit. Like if you accidentally punch somebody for real and they're a really good grappler, they'll put you in a hold that like is a millimeter away from tearing your arm out of its socket.
Yeah, no, it looked bad. So I mean, Sasha, it looked bad.
Yeah.
But Ronda Rousey eventually wins the match. I mean, this one a 3-star. It was a pretty decent match. I liked it. I know what's coming next. We got the Women's Royal Rumble, so I'm excited to get to that. But 3-star match. So far, this Royal Rumble pay-per-view is really getting me excited. How many stars do you give this one?
So, yeah, I mean, without getting into too much detail, I'm going to go a little step further. I'm going to say this is a 3.5-star match.
Okay.
So far, and as we'll get through the remainder of it, the women totally stole the show in this Royal Rumble. It wasn't forced like they had been trying to do, but the women legitimately stole the show. Asuka and Becky Lynch is 5 stars. Ronda Rousey and Sasha Banks is 3.5 stars, and only because Ronda Rousey still's not there yet.
Yeah,
I'm not saying she's not going to be there. But at this moment, when we're reviewing this, the match is not a 5-star match because Ronda Rousey's not there yet. Sasha Banks surprised me. I never saw her as a great in-ring performer. I saw she's got a great following, great on the mic, good in the ring, but she was on her game in that match. This was the best match I've ever seen out of Sasha Banks, and I'm, the only reason I'm not giving it another 5 stars is because Ronda Rousey just ain't quite there yet, but she's getting there.
You know what? I'm going to end this and go to the Women's Royal Rumble here with my 2 cents about the women nowadays. because I don't know when we're going to actually talk about all these women. Maybe in the 10th anniversary of Calling the Ring, but we have so much to cover.
Right.
These women impress me. And the reason why is for multiple reasons, but I'll give you the simple reasons, Ed. I grew up and you grew up, and hopefully a lot of our fans, because they can kind of get an idea here, during the Attitude Era.
Sure.
We had Sable. We had Trish Stratus. She was sexified at the beginning. We had Tori Wilson. These women did not wrestle. These women were sex objects. They had bras and panty matches, which 12-year-old Jordan loved the shit out of.
Of course.
You know, but, you know, I'm a grown-ass man and times have changed. What I'm trying to say is this women's evolution in wrestling, I don't think it's an evolution of the women are getting the shots, like the Royal Rumble, like women's tag titles now and all this shit. I think that women's evolution is these women are fucking good.
Sure they are.
And that's the evolution, is that we actually get good athletes in this. Because Sasha Banks always liked her with Bayley. You know, she's fun. No big deal. She's just one of those wrestlers that, you know, we get the title once in a while, but she's like a Naomi. I really like to watch her, but I don't expect anything great out of her like a Becky Lynch or like a Charlotte Flair, right?
Mm-hmm.
But she held her own against the baddest woman in the planet.
Yeah.
And I was impressed.
Yeah, I know. Listen, I 100% agree with you. I still think that there are some of the lower level women wrestlers that aren't quite good in the ring.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that's that. There are more men that are in the ring that are bad than there are women that are in the ring that are bad at this particular moment in professional wrestling. You know, but the women that are on the top, and I'm talking in-ring performances. Becky Lynch, Charlotte Flair, Asuka, Sasha Banks,
Bayley.
She's not quite there. She's not quite
I
there.
like Bayley. I
do too, but she's just not quite on that.
Natalia's a legend.
But she's not there either. She's not as good as those women.
Though I would pushed. She's not pushed.
No, I'm just telling you from what I see in the ring. I see a lot of botched moves. I see a lot of slow and I see a lot of telegraph moves that aren't being properly countered the way that a lot of the guys do it. But and I'm not criticizing them because they do this better than I ever could. That's why they do it and I don't. But as what I see is as a professional wrestling fan, I'd put Sasha Banks, Charlotte Flair, Becky Lynch, and Asuka up against any four guys in the ring. I don't mean like fighting in an 8-person tag match. I don't mean that. I mean like their in-ring abilities. I'd put them up against pick 100 guys. You know, with the exception, or even let's put guys like Finn Balor in there, who's incredible. Put Kenny Omega in there, who you've never seen yet, but when you do, you'll know what I mean.
Is he from NXT?
No.
Okay.
Kenny Omega is the biggest star in the world that's not in WWE. Kenny Omega is. I'll let him. We'll discuss that at another time.
Okay.
And AJ Styles, who did I say? AJ Styles, Finn Balor, Kenny Omega. Those guys. I'd put even Seth Rollins is up there. I'd put those four up against anybody, and I think that the women may come out on top in terms of just looking at their in-ring ability.
Okay.
Seriously. So yeah, I mean, 100%. This is exactly what you said. It's not just about a women's evolution because they're saying we're going to make women. We're just saying we're going to have women headline WrestleMania. These people are actually really fucking good, and they legitimately deserve to be headlining WrestleManias and headlining pay-per-views.
Well, they will this WrestleMania, I feel.
Yeah, I fully 100% predict, and we'll get into it.
Yeah, if it's going to be what we think, then it could be. So let's get into the Women's Royal Rumble here. The Women's Royal Rumble lasted for an hour and 12 minutes. And the 30 women Royal Rumble match ended with Becky Lynch winning, eliminating Charlotte Flair.
Mhm.
And you're going to have to bear with me, but I want to tell the fans this. So I'm going to go fast, but bear with me. This is in order from 1 to 30, the women that were part of the Rumble. So I'm going to murder these names, but bear with me. Lacey Evans, Natalya, Mandy Rose, Liv Morgan, Mickie James, Ember Moon, Billie Kay, Nikki Cross, Peyton Royce, Tamina, Xia Li, Sarah Logan, Charlotte Flair, Kairi Sane, which I like her.
Mhm.
She's a pirate chick.
Yep.
Marina Kalinas, Naomi, Candice LeRae, Alicia Fox, Casey Conchasso. She's from NXT. I'm sorry. You got Selena Vega, Ruby Riott, Dana Brooke, Io Ciara from NXT,
Mhm.
Rhea Ripley from NXT from UK.
Oh,
Sonya
I love
Deville,
her. I'm in love with her.
Alexa Bliss, Bayley, Becky Lynch, Nia Jax, and Carmella. So let's talk about Becky Lynch on this match real quick here. Becky Lynch was not supposed to be in the storyline. She was not supposed to be a part of the Women's Royal Rumble because traditionally, if you are in a title match in the Royal Rumble, besides the actual Royal Rumble match, then you do not get a shot at the Royal Rumble. But at number 28, Lana comes out, which in the pre-show she breaks her ankle
It's injured, yeah.
and she's hobbling out to the ring. The announcers try to sell it. Oh, she can't compete. She can't compete. Oh, Jesus.
Oh, wow. Where'd that come from?
I don't know. And
A little better?
Miller High Life.
The champagne of beers,
The champagne.
which can be found inside the cellar.
Yes. Give me that real quick. What is inside the cellar?
Inside the Cellar is a great subscription service for alcoholic beverages. Teaches you how to pair proper wines and proper liquors and proper beers with the proper foods. Very educational process, but also will deliver to your house. You have to prove that you're 21, obviously, and we do want you to drink responsibly. But Inside the Cellar is an alcohol service, a beer service, subscription service that will deliver the proper alcohol to your house for your taste and needs.
There we go. So make sure to check out InsideTheCellar.com. So Becky Lynch comes in at number 28. What happens is Lana has a broken ankle. She cannot compete. She can't even get halfway down to the ramp. Becky Lynch comes out and says, I want to go. They let her go in, and then she sells this very interesting landed on her ankle wrong at the end of the Royal Rumble match.
Right.
And then she finishes out with Charlotte. So that's the ending. But let's talk about the beginning here. We got Lacey Evans against Natalya. Lacey Evans is actually credited as a free agent. She lasted 29 minutes and 20 seconds, and she eliminated 2 women. Lacey Evans.
She's really good. She's surprisingly good from NXT. And I love that pinup look. I don't mean in a sexual way. I've always had a thing for that style, that era. I like the whole sailor kind of thing. I dig that look, the pinup look. But she was really good. I was pleasantly surprised at her abilities in this match, which you're not really able to see wrestling skills in a battle royal like this. So
well, you know why she's wearing this, right?
Well, she's the lady. She's the lady of WWE.
No, the reason why Lacey Evans is wearing this is because she actually in real life is a former U.S. Marine.
Well, I didn't know that. I knew she had a kid and she was trying to clean up NXT or something like that.
No. I mean, Lacey Evans in real life is a real life retired U.S. Marine, and she served as a military officer for Special Recon Team or also SWAT.
I did not know this, but it makes sense.
And, she is enlisted when she was 19 years old. She served 5 years, and she earned a bachelor's degree in construction business while in active duty.
Wow.
So she is a part of, of her thing. Her name, though, Lacey Evans, is actually her sister's legal name.
Oh, really?
Her real name is Macy Evans, and she was born on March 24th of 1990. She's 28 years old, and she's from Georgia. She has one child. So the reason I'm talking about her is because she is definitely a Marine woman, and that's not the kind of woman that I'm attracted to. No, and I am not watching these women because I'm sexually attracted to them. I'm just saying I did not enjoy watching her, and I also loved the fact that the announcers said she's pretty much Charlotte Flair because she looks exactly like
They do
Charlotte
look.
Flair.
They do look exactly like, yes.
She did. My girl, though, that I love, Liv Morgan, comes in at number 4, and she's eliminated in 8 seconds.
Yeah.
I love Liv Morgan. I love that blue tongue, very Harley Quinn kind of girl. I fell in love with her because if you, the fans, are interested in watching a little show on the WWE network called Right Along, they put cameras into the cars while the wrestlers travel from one arena to the next. Have you seen this one?
Mhm.
This is with Liv Morgan and Sarah Logan and Ruby Riott.
I've not seen the episode. No, I've seen the show. Yeah.
But Liv Morgan wants to drive the girls, and throughout the whole episode, the girls were worrying that Liv was going to kill them because she's a terrible driver. And Sarah Logan is straight up hillbilly in real life. She's a straight up redneck. And she takes out of her bag a Ziploc bag of steak and a Ziploc bag of mashed potatoes. And she lets 3 big, wet, nasty farts in the SUV and makes Ruby Riott and Liv Morgan physically ill with the smell. It is hilarious to check out. Go to the WWE network and check out Right Along with Ruby Riott, Liv Morgan, and Sarah Logan. It is fucking hilarious.
I'm gonna have to do that.
Mickie James comes in at number 5. Now, Mickie James, I remember from back in the day as having a lesbian crush or just a psychotic episode with Trish Stratus.
That's not good.
Why not?
I'm just saying that was back in the day. That was.
No, I know, but that's the last time that I remembered her.
Yeah, that was back when they were still divas and wearing bras and panties out to the ring.
Yeah, but I remember those matches that they had. They had a great rivalry. Royal Rumble, Ed. Last year we had more iconic, legendary women come into the fold. This year we didn't have that. Last year we had Lita, we had Trish Stratus, and Ronda Rousey showed up at the end. This year we didn't have. I mean, we also had Blaze who came out too.
Mm-hmm.
This year we didn't have any legends. I thought that was interesting choice.
Well, they've got enough talent on the roster that they don't need them. Men's, you always have to do something. You always have to do something like that. But, and you've got to remember, the women who were great professional wrestlers like Alundra Blaze and Beth Phoenix and whatnot, they're almost too old to go flying over the top rope.
That's true. That's true. So why don't you do me a favor? Why don't you give me 60 seconds and tell me why you like Rhea Ripley so much? Because I like that name Ripley because of, aliens. So tell me why you have a love affair with Rhea Ripley.
Well, mine's is clearly a misogynistic point. The reason I like her, she, forget. We're going to get to the point where she's in the ring and whatnot, but I've just always loved that goth look, that punk look. I think she's a beautiful woman, and I would marry her if I had the ability to do so. She was trained by Sarah Amato. I forget the guy's name that she's married to that does a lot of training and whatnot as well. But she's somebody she's from Australia, but she performs in NXT UK. Rhea Ripley. She's just a badass chick, man. I thoroughly enjoy watching her in the ring. She won the Mae Young Classic. And then now that she's been in NXT UK, she's been one of those kind of in-ring performers that just just really tickle my fancy when it comes to her in-ring ability. But yeah, I mean, I just like her. I like her look from a physical perspective as a guy, but I love her ability in the ring.
Well, I also love the fact that we had Becky Lynch versus Charlotte Flair as the last two women to go in this match. We knew as fans of wrestling and how the storylines work, that as soon as Becky Lynch came out, she was going to win the Rumble.
Sure.
But this is where I talk to people at work, and they don't understand it. And Gina, my wife, every time I say Gina, it's just my wife for the fans that don't know. Now she finally gets it. It's not the fact that you know, as an example, that Becky Lynch is going to run the Rumble as soon as she comes out. It is the how does she get there? That's the fun.
Right.
And I was nervous because I knew Becky was going to get it. It was like, how is she going to do this? How is she going to do this? You know? And then they do that fake leg injury thing. And then she's hobbling on one leg and saying, bring it on, bitch, and all that shit,
right.
you know? And like, it was interesting to see it was interesting for me, the journey. Do you agree that it's not that you know, it's just the journey?
Agreed. I mean, that's the thing about professional wrestling. And every once in a while, you will get we'll get to the point to where they'll take it away from you. Like you expect the outcome, and they take it away from you. But you know, and the most recent point of that is when Goldberg beat Brock Lesnar in 10 seconds.
Yeah, Survivor Series in 16.
Yeah, I did not expect that, but that was my own stupid fault for not expecting that at the same time.
Right?
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, like you said, I fully, even though she wasn't originally slated to be in the match, we have a pick'em league between some friends.
That's how
for
nerdy
professional
we are.
wrestling.
We are that fucking nerdy.
Yeah.
Continue.
And Jordan asked me, he goes, well, who you have winning the Women's Royal Rumble? And I told him, and he goes, she's not even in it. She has a title match. I said, just shut the fuck up and trust me. I said, I've been watching wrestling long enough to know, and now that the McMahons are back in charge, this is exactly what's going to happen. I said, somehow, some way, she's going to find her way into the match, and she's going to win it. And he went along with me. He understood, and when it happened, I texted him, and I texted him, and his response was basically, shut the fuck up. You were right.
No, yeah. I was tired about your big rhinoceros penis.
And I successfully predicted every single match in the main card in our pick'em. Just throwing that out there.
Yeah, you did.
The winners
you definitely won that one.
The winners. Now I didn't get the Final Fours right. We did pick Final Fours for the Royal Rumbles, and I got 3 of the 4 women right. I predicted Ruby Riott would be in the Final Four, and I got the news late about John Cena being hurt for the men's Final Four, but we'll get into that. Yeah. But I accurately predicted the winners because I know it. And you know what? I don't care that I know professional wrestling this well. I loved the journey to get there. That's what wrestling's all about, just like you said.
That's what we're saying, the journey.
Yeah, that's what professional wrestling's about.
So the next match on the card was Daniel Bryan defending his WWE Championship against AJ Styles in a match that lasted for 24 minutes and 35 seconds. Eventually, Daniel Bryan wins the match by having the ref get knocked out and having one of the Bludgeon Brothers guys, or no longer Bludgeon Brothers guys, the Wyatt family guys, come out and help him win. This one may be a fight. I don't know, Ed, but I am sick and tired of this rivalry. I'm over it, and I want it to end and move on. It's dead. Kill it.
Well, and here goes to my previous point. Daniel Bryan is an inspiring story. The guy chased his dream. He was an underdog his whole life. He chased his dream, and he got there. And they didn't even want to give him the shot, much like CM Punk. They didn't want to give him the shot, but his persistence and his abilities, basically said otherwise. But especially since returning, and this new ridiculous character they gave him. Like Daniel Bryan, the reason he got over so well was because he's an underdog. And now you turn him into an eco-terrorist, like an environmentally friendly eco-terrorist. Like, what? What?
Well, okay. So let's talk.
And hang on, wait, I ain't done yet.
Oh, okay.
And his
you ain't done yet.
His skills have eroded immensely in the ring.
Okay.
AJ Styles lapped him in the ring. Literally lapped him in the ring. And I'm sorry to say, but Daniel Bryan never should have come back. He's ruined his legacy for me, because it's just like when Hulk Hogan was 60 years old, fucking wrestling. It was great to watch him and The Rock perform together, and we named our show after what they did in the ring. They called it In the Ring when they switched gears. But Hulk Hogan was a shell of his former self. And Daniel Bryan's half his age, so yeah. I mean, this. Go ahead. I'll let you make your point.
No. This is my argument. I am going to agree with you that I don't like the new Daniel Bryan. But I think that the reason why you don't like it and the reason why that I don't like it is because you and I are blue collar, middle America, middle class Joes. And we're not talking politics here. My personal opinion. This does not reflect Called in the Ring or Movie Guys Podcast or Ed. This is just Jordan's personal opinion. That I feel that middle class America, the blue collar Joes, get fucked in the ass more than anybody else when it comes to this country. And when Daniel Bryan is like us, that middle class kind of thing, and he succeeds and he wins the title at WrestleMania 30, and it's everything that everybody wanted. It is sad to see him turn into this angle of this new Daniel Bryan, but with him coming back, he had to do something because he couldn't do the Yes Movement for the next 10 years. He couldn't do that for the next 20 years. People will eventually get tired of it. They'll eventually turn on him, a la Roman Reigns. And it will just taint his career even more. I feel this is a new side of Daniel Bryan. Once he loses the title, his bad guy persona will end. That's my opinion.
Probably.
Because, I mean, yeah, it's a great story, but do you really, every time you just turn into SmackDown, do you really want to see Daniel Bryan in the Yes Movement for the next 10 fucking years? I don't. It'll get annoying. It'll get boring. Give me something new to watch.
Yeah.
So they're trying something new with them, which is fine. I'm not knocking him for trying something new. I just don't like the direction they're taking him.
I think this particular, he's a fucking eco-terrorist, is absolutely retarded.
I mean, like, what I would have rather have seen if I was a writer for WWE, I would have said, okay, let's not have him be this new Daniel Bryan guy. Let's have him be Daniel Bryan that we know Daniel Bryan, but he got jibbed on his fucking WrestleMania 30 championship because he was injured after that, and he had to relinquish the titles, and he had to retire, right?
Mm-hmm. Sure.
So now this is his second reign of having the title. He will do anything to keep that title because it was stolen from him because of an injury. That, I think, would have been a more appealing injury of the middle-class guy who gets screwed over, I make a nickel, you make a dime. That's why I shit on company time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what I think that should have been. AJ Styles is a great wrestler. I don't have a problem with AJ Styles, but I have a problem with AJ Styles in a little bit. I know I just contradicted myself because he is becoming a Brock Lesnar where it's like, since WrestleMania 34 last year, this guy has been involved in the WWE title since. It's been almost a year, and I'm sick of it. I want new guys.
There are no other guys. There aren't.
There are. They're just not using them. I mean, like, there are good wrestlers that are fan favorites. I mean, you got Jeff Hardy, who is a fan favorite, who was a WWE champion at the
112 years old.
He's not, but he's not even 40. So there you go.
Okay, his brother just retired, but continue.
His brother did, but his brother is older.
Mhm.
You got Shinsuke, who got fucked in the ass hardcore.
Overrated in the ring, but yeah, continue.
He got fucked. Rusev is a great fan favorite at the time. He's not anymore, but he was when I was at SmackDown last June.
Mhm.
He would be a good heel. I mean, fuck, you gave the title to Jinder Mahal for 6 fucking months. He was a great heel.
Good heel, bad wrestler.
Samoa Joe.
Great, but that's the only other one they can give it to.
I mean, Samoa Joe you can give it to. I mean, like, there are other wrestlers you can give this shit to. You just don't do it.
I
And
mean,
I'm sick of AJ Styles in the hunt all the time.
Look, they're really on SmackDown. There really is no other buddy. There's nobody else to give that the titles to. AJ Styles is the best in the world. I mean, maybe they're having to give it to him because they have to, or Daniel Bryan because there's nobody else. I mean, Samoa Joe should be the only other person besides AJ Styles that should have it Samoa Joe. I mean, you're what are you gonna give it to fucking Mustafa Ali, Andrade?
Shelton
Benjamin. I mean, Randy Orton maybe, but
Randy Orton, but like Mustafa Ali would be a pretty decent United States champion, I think.
I mean, unless you move somebody like Elias over to SmackDown and gave him a shot, which he fucking deserves one.
Yeah, he does. I actually love Elias. I want to walk with Elias.
So WWE stands for. But they're with the exception of the top couple of guys, there's nobody else. They don't have anybody else. This is my point. That, you've got these 4 great, women stars. And you don't really have that many men.
AJ, but they're all on Raw.
Well, Elias deserves a shot. But
Kevin Owens was on SmackDown, but he's injured.
Right. I mean, Seth Rollins can be in the mix. I don't want to see Drew McIntyre fucking over.
No, I don't want to see Drew.
Yeah, Baron Corbin stinks. Bobby Lashley fucking sucks.
Yeah, I don't like Bobby.
I mean, I love Braun Strowman's character, but I don't know that I want him to be the champ. I don't want Dolph Ziggler because even though I love Dolph Ziggler, I think that he's. I don't want to see Shawn Michaels again. I love Shawn Michaels. I know. I don't want to see that again.
Hey, Ed. We've gone on for a long time here. Let's go to the next match here before I talk about the men's rumble, okay?
Okay.
So the next match was Brock Lesnar, who was the Universal Champion, with Paul Heyman, going against Finn Balor for the WWE Universal Championship. The match ended in 8 minutes and 40 seconds. I wanted Finn to win. I am a Finn Balor fanatic. I'm a Finn Balor fan. I have not been excited about a wrestler since Stone Cold Steve Austin. Finn is my new Stone Cold, and boy, was I disappointed that he did not win the title. But man, did he put Brock Lesnar to the fucking cleaners on this one. And there is more of a storyline coming up with this one than what we think. Because Brock Lesnar never after a major pay-per-view event, and I looked it up, never after a major pay-per-view event for the title has Brock Lesnar ever decided to suplex City a guy multiple times afterwards. They're leading up to a storyline here. I think it's going to be Finn versus Brock, as Finn is the demon at WrestleMania. That's what I think.
Unfortunately, one of the things that we've missed while we were recording this is the fact that they're putting him and Bobby Lashley had a thing. We also missed the Finn Balor and Bobby Lashley had a thing on Raw tonight. Okay. And we also missed my man, Double J, Jeff Jarrett, who you shat on this whole entire time we've done this show, and the Road Dogg performing together. But, I mean, I was disappointed in the end of this match. I felt like Finn Balor was taking Brock to task. I loved the fact that Brock was willing to be taken to task. because I've never seen that out of him before.
No, I agree.
I've never seen him being willing to be taken to task for the better of the show, because Brock Lesnar doesn't give a fuck about the show. He only cares about himself, and suplexing a dude 10 times, giving the fans the worst match on the card every single time.
Every time.
Every time. And I did enjoy him being taken to task. But the end, they took it home. And that's the reason this match only lasted 8.5 minutes, is because Brock Lesnar can't do this in the ring. They make it a point to say in the commentary, everybody says Brock Lesnar has no cardio, and I promise you, he's got the best cardio in the WWE. No, he doesn't.
No, he does. He's fat.
No,
now.
He's fat. Well, he's in much better shape than I am.
No, he's better shape than all of us. He'll kick our ass.
Yes.
He's fat, though.
Yeah. I mean, I just don't enjoy Brock Lesnar in the ring. I never have, and I never will. No. I think they need to cut ties with that. And the only reason that they keep him is because he's the guy that does what Vince McMahon's favorite thing to do is, and that's take away the heart of the fan. He loves to do that. And I don't blame him. That's kind of part of being in control of an entertaining program like that.
Yeah.
But Finn Balor's performance bumps this up, and Brock Lesnar's ability to take a bump. This match to me gets 2.5 stars.
Yeah, I'm
Again,
not going to argue with you on that one too.
Yeah,
good.
Any match with Brock Lesnar starts at 1 star, and you have to force your way out of there. And Finn Balor did that. That's how good Finn Balor is.
Yeah. All right, so now we're getting to the last match on the card here for the Royal Rumble, and it's the men's Royal Rumble. It ended with Seth Rollins winning by last eliminated Braun Strowman at 57 minutes and 35 seconds. And just like I did with the women, I'm going to do with the men here. And here are the 30 men that were a part of the Rumble. We had Elias with J-E-F-F, Jeff Jarrett, which was
J-E-F-F-J-A-R-R-E-T.
Jeff Jarrett as a free agent.
A Hall of Famer.
Yeah, he's a Hall of Famer. It went on too long, but it was fun. Shinsuke Nakamura, Kurt Angle, Big E, Johnny Gargano.
My man, Mr. NX, Mr. TNA, Mr. Ring of Honor, Johnny Gargano.
Jinder Mahal, Samoa Joe, Kurt Hawkins, Seth Rollins, Titus O'Neil, Kofi Kingston, Mustafa Ali, Dan Ambrose, No Way Jose, who was eliminated in 2 seconds.
In 2 seconds, yeah.
And Titus O'Neil was eliminated in 5 seconds. Drew McIntyre, Xavier Woods, Pete Dunne.
Yep.
And
Andrade.
Apollo Crews, Aleister Black, Shelton Benjamin, Baron Corbin, Jeff Hardy, Rey Mysterio, Bobby Lashley, Braun Strowman, Dolph Ziggler, Randy Orton, and no R-Truth, but Nia Jax.
Nia Jax should have won this fucking Royal Rumble. I'll get to that in a minute. But I will say the one thing that I was hoping to see, and I did not know Jeff Jarrett was coming out. And I'm disappointed that we didn't have the following. In their time in TNA, Kurt Angle, Jeff Jarrett owned the place, right? And Kurt Angle went because Vince made him retire. He's like, I'm not ready to be done in the ring. You're going to break your neck. I'm not going to put up with that. Kurt Angle refused to retire, went to TNA, had a great run. You know, him and Sting they were the 2 veterans, and Hogan was there, and blah, 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 blah. But on a personal note, Jeff Jarrett stole Kurt Angle's wife in real life. Karen Angle is now Karen Jarrett, and Jeff Jarrett is daddy to Kurt Angle's kids. And we almost had those 2 in the ring at the same time.
Yeah, I know. So this is funny. My wife.
They probably refused to be in the ring together. By the way, I would imagine that they.
Oh, I would
imagine. Yeah.
My wife doesn't know anything about wrestling. She's learning as she's going along, right?
Sure.
And Jeff Jarrett comes out, and she looks at him, and he takes off his hat, and she goes, her exact words was, and I quote, "Who the hell is this old piece of shit?" And I said, "This is Jeff motherfucking Jarrett. This guy was actually awesome in WCW. I loved Jeff Jarrett in WCW at the end of WCW before they went under. He was fun. He was the heel. He was a champion for a while in WCW at the end, and he was just fun to be around. I knew that him and Vince McMahon had a falling out, but it was fun to see him in it. I thought that it went too long with Elias, but it was still fun to see them do it because that's it. Like the Royal Rumble is also supposed to be about surprises. Myself and a lot of people say that the 2001 Royal Rumble is the best. I mean, fuck, we had Drew Carey in that, for God's sakes.
I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this for you and for all the fans in the Call It in the Ring verse. I don't remember all the lyrics, but I'm going to sing right now. He's like, you know, my baby's got me wrapped around her little finger because she knows that I would walk to hell and back to be with her. I can't wait to be alone with my baby tonight. I still remember that shit from the WWE, the album, WWF, the album. You don't remember that?
So that's it for Calling in the Ring. Ed has officially serenaded me. I'm going to end the show, drive 3 hours east to Pennsylvania, and be with him sexually.
I can't wait to be alone with my baby tonight.
You're going to be alone with me tonight, baby. I'm driving. You and I are going to we're going to have a great night tonight. Oh! So that's the end of Calling the Ring. See you guys later. No. So yeah, I don't have much to say about this match because I knew before the Royal Rumble even started that it was going to be Seth Rollins that was going to win it. Again, though, it was the journey going into it. Baron Corbin, I still like as a heel. And what I mean by that is he's just a good heel. He's just a good bad guy. Why? Because I fucking hate him.
Touché.
I mean, regardless of his in-ring performance, let's just throw that out the window. Just him as an actor, him as a character, right? I fucking hate him, which means he's a good fucking heel.
That's the whole point, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the whole point. He's just a good heel. And he's slimy. He's just very, he's icky, and he reminds me of a car salesman.
Does he know?
Yeah, well, yeah, he does. He reminds me of that car salesman that will do whatever he can to get the deal. Don't give a fuck. That's what he reminds me of.
Oh. Well, I know.
No disrespect to any car salesman. I'm just saying that's the kind of guy that reminds me of him.
Well, fuck you, first of all.
What are you talking about? I'm just telling you that it's not every car salesman. I know that there are a lot of great car salesmen out there that will not try to fuck me in the ass when it comes to buying a car. I'm just trying to tell you, this guy fits the stereotype of a fucking used car salesman.
I guess it's better than being a retarded ass forklift driver.
Hey, you know what? At least I'm not out trying to sell fuck.
All right, so let's get back to this thing.
Let's get back.
So look, okay, so Seth Rollins enters at number 10. He lasts 45 minutes and ends up winning the thing. Mm-hmm. And R-Truth comes out. We know he's number 30, and nobody gives a shit about R-Truth. No. That's why they didn't really want him in the thing, but they won the Mixed Match Challenge, so he won the number 30 entrant. Mm-hmm. And Nia Jax comes out and whoops his ass and comes out, and I'm thinking, this is going to be the greatest moment ever. We're going to have a female win the men's Royal Rumble. Like, we're going to have, like, it's going to be awesome. I thought Nia Jax was going to come in and just annihilate these people. And the guys that were left, there were several guys that were left, like not Dolph Ziggler. Randy Orton was left, Rey Mysterio was left. Like, they were like, I don't want to hit you. And she provoked him, and you know what? She got an RK out of nowhere. She got a 619. I'm disappointed, however, that they left that quickly, that she was eliminated that quickly. She was only in there for 3 minutes. I wish they would have done more. I actually wish she would have won. I think that would have made it a better storyline. What
is your hard-on with Nia Jax?
No, I'm not saying I even necessarily like her in the ring. She's one of the ones that I named as being kind of sort of a subpar in-ring performer, as from a fan perspective. But I think that would have made for a great story, and they have the opportunity to turn her into a Kong, into a great giant, and I don't mean this disrespectfully, into a great giant bad guy, into a great heel, and they're not letting her be a good heel. Maybe it's just because she's a big sweetheart and she doesn't want to be one. I don't know.
Well,
But
she's
she would be
trying to be.
Yeah, I mean, and maybe they're moving her that direction. And when she first came out, like if they gave her Tamina's attitude, you know what I mean? Then that she would be able to up her character a long way.
All right, fair enough.
But again, this is a thing. Like WWE right now has a lot of low ability in-ring performers, specifically at the men's level, who cannot be trusted to be in the main event at WrestleMania. That's why they have to put Seth Rollins back there.
Yeah, look, Seth Rollins deserves it, though. I mean,
I'm not saying he doesn't. But, there are legitimately 25 other people in this thing out of 30 that have no business being in the spot to have a number one contenders match at WrestleMania. And I'm not saying WWE's ever had more than 5 guys who are capable of holding that torch. Randy Orton's one of them, maybe Braun Strowman, maybe Dolph Ziggler. But nobody else should be. I don't care. I don't want them in the main event at WrestleMania. I don't want Dean, as much as I like him, I don't want Dean Ambrose in the main event at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
I don't want Titus O'Neil in the main event at WrestleMania.
God bless Titus O'Neil. God damn it.
Yeah, and I mean, guys like Johnny Gargano are that capable, but he's not ready yet. Nobody knows him well yet. Shinsuke is good. He's overrated, I think, but he's not capable of holding, a match at WrestleMania, being the main event. Even though he won. I get that. I respect it. I'm fully.
He didn't win.
Well, it's well. I said that backwards. I said that backwards. He won the Royal Rumble and did have his moment in the sun at WrestleMania. I said that backwards.
Yeah.
But I just don't like. Really, I mean, you've got Seth Rollins that could do it. I would love to see them let Elias do it.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's there.
He'd be a good heel.
Yeah, but he's too over. He's too over to be a heel. Yeah. They're trying like hell, but he's too over. Randy Orton can do it. I think Braun Strowman can do it, and I think Dolph Ziggler can do it. And of the guys that were in the Rumble, that's really it.
I liked, to end the show, I liked Elias's line in the beginning of the Rumble where he says, "It's because you all are here to see me. Unfortunately, there's not these many fans at a Diamondbacks game."
Yeah.
I love that.
I love when heels do that kind of thing.
Yeah, he always does that. Well, that concludes Calling on the Ring special episode of our reaction episode to the 2019 Royal Rumble, our first modern day take into the wrestling world here. But don't be worried, everybody. Ed and I will be back in 2 weeks for another special episode here. For another awesome episode, I guess, of Calling on the Ring. We're going to be talking about a wrestler. And we're going to tell everybody now who the wrestler is that we're going to be talking about so you can prepare yourselves for it. It's going to be a very controversial episode. But our next episode, we're going to dedicate the whole episode to Chris Benoit, the Rabid Wolverine, the Crippler. We're going to be talking about Chris Benoit here in a few weeks for Calling on the Ring here. So make sure to check that episode out because it should be a very interesting episode. So, but if you like this episode, make sure to check us out at movieguyspodcast.com, movieguyspodcast.podbean.com. Go to YouTube /movieguyspodcast and go ahead and check us out on Facebook and on Twitter and Instagram. Just search for Movie Guys Podcast, and also check us out on iTunes and Spotify and iHeartRadio, Movie Guys Podcast. You can find out all these episodes for Calling on the Ring and also all the episodes of Movie Guys Podcast and For Distraction as well. So thank you so much for listening to this episode of Calling on the Ring. Ed, thank you so much for joining me. And we'll be back in 2 weeks for an episode for Chris Benoit. Have a good night.